up, y'all? It's Carlos, Brown Liquor and Cigars, and we got John and Miss
What
Ali.
up?
Getting started, round two.
Yes. What we talking about?
Yeah. So just to give y'all some insight, they don't know what the topic's about to be. We talking about a couple different things, and I may swing this one way or another, but one I'm choosing is we're going to talk about happily never after.
Oh.
So talk about not being married, and so I've been married before, so I'm gonna throw in my points along the way from someone who's been married, or things that I'll say wrong or right or so. I'll just start off by saying this. So I think that for me, my mom hates to hear me say this, but I have no desire to get married again. I don't. I feel like it's one of those things. I've done it. I mean, not like I was just trying it out.
Wait a minute,
I can check it off my brain.
It's done. It's over. I got in and out.
I mean, not to say I'm being that dismissive about it. I mean, I at the time I did it because I wanted to, but the bottom line is, it ended the way it did, and it's just the possibility of going through that whole cycle again. I'm just not with it. I mean, and maybe that's being negative, but that's how I feel. But we'll get back to that later.
Okay.
But so for John and Ali, y'all haven't been married before. So tell us if both of you could just say, like, or what are the reasons behind that, you would say, or what is your thought on being married, and maybe some of the pressures that society puts on people to be on marriage. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So my take on marriage, and I've been like this most of my life. I think I kind of mentioned this before, is that I think there was only one spell of my life where someone kind of tricked me into believing I wanted to be married. And I thought that, because even my friends were like, because I never even used to say the word. Like, that's
really?
how against it. I wouldn't even say it. And I said it once, and one of my friends was like, oh my God, you said the M word.
Whoa.
And it wasn't because I had an issue with marriage per se. I just didn't see the value in being married. And part of that was because of the representation that I had seen up until that point. And I'm talking, I'm in my late 40s at this point. And so for me, I just didn't see the reason or a need to kind of get intertwined with somebody legally, because it always seemed like, that was the only glue that held things together. And I'm that person. I'm so stuck on, don't be with me because you have to be.
Yeah.
That's like stupid. And we paid for that? That's just silly to me.
Yeah.
And so then I got to a point where I actually ended up dating someone that I really believed, I don't even know how I believed this, but I just really believed that there was a future for us, and he made me kind of see, he taught me a lot. It was probably one of my hardest relationships. I won't say worst, but hardest relationships, and I learned the most from it, which
those are always the
which
best.
is what they say. It wasn't the best. I would not use that term.
I'm talking about the best in value.
Okay.
You bring later.
Please define.
Later.
But what's funny is even though I learned things, I didn't really learn them. I had to go through it over and over to realize that there was a lesson actually that I went through. But like this whole thing about, the pressures of being married, yes, there are quite a few. Parents. Because my mother used to always say to me, I'm a PK, y'all know this. My mother used to say to me, you might as well get married because you're doing what grown folks do.
Oh.
So I would say to my mother, is that the only reason I'm getting married? I'm not getting married because I'm having sex. That's stupid. And I already had a baby. So we can rule that one out, you know, because and that's one of the things is, are we having kids? Are we getting married to have children? Are we getting married to have sex? Because that's what it was back in the day. Well, I mean, do we prescribe to that now?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my pause. I'm pausing.
You ready?
I think it's
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've never been married. I think I've never been married because I'm not marriage material. And I've never been marriage material. And what I mean by that is I don't want to be married now. So I think people who should be married should want to be married. And they should have a mind that they want to be married. And I think the times that I did want to be married when I was in my 20s, it wasn't because I had a desire to be married, but it was what everybody else was doing. And it seemed like that is what I should have been doing at that time. So I don't know if I've ever had a place in my life where I said, I just want to be married because I truly want to be married. I've never had that experience, honestly. It was always pressures from different things. And now I don't have the desire. Do I want to be in a relationship? Would love to be in a relationship. I just don't want to be married. And I know that requires a unique lady to do that, but I don't want to be married.
You mean legally?
Legally.
Okay.
Yeah, legally. And common law either. I mean, they're going to say, oh, you want to be common law married?
What? Oh, common law.
Yeah.
I thought you said common law. I was like, she got a law. What is she doing there?
Right.
No, common law. You know, I don't want that. You know, I don't even want to. I don't want to cohabitate.
Oh, you put me on your benefits, John.
No.
That's what that common law gets
Right,
you.
getting it.
In the
Right,
new states,
exactly.
that common law
Yeah,
gets
it
you
will.
the benefits. What kind of
Yeah,
job you got, boo?
I don't want any of that.
What kind
I
of
don't
job?
want any of that.
But I do love to date. I do love to have a great time. I do love all of that. I just don't want to be married. So I don't believe that I'm marriage material because of my mindset. I don't want to be married. And people who are marriage material have to want to be married because those are going to be the people that fight when it's time to fight for their marriage. 'Cause I
Wait a
walk.
minute. You contradicted yourself. I
How
feel
did I
like.
contradict
You
myself?
contradicted yourself because you basically just said you don't want to be married legally, but you want a committed relationship. You wouldn't fight for a committed relationship?
I think a committed relationship is easier to walk away from than marriage. You know, it's no legal battle with that. You know, if that
That wasn't my question. My question is,
will
would
I
you
fight for it?
Yeah.
I will fight for it to a
Okay.
degree, but I can walk away from it if it's not
I'm
working
taking
either.
all the CDs.
No, you ain't taking jack.
Ooh,
'Cause
now
we
that
ain't-
would run me hot because
you
I
know-
love music. I'd be like,
but
yo,
Oh, them old CDs.
Actually, you can take the CDs because I barely have any. We start talking about DVDs.
I was going to the
We got
don't
some
touch the
numbers.
CDs or the
Okay.
DVDs.
So I gotta ask this. Okay, so I understand the whole not wanting to be married thing because the legal thing means absolutely nothing to me. I ain't giving the government, like I'm so anti giving the government extra money. Like you're not getting it for what?
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna tell me the only way I can define myself is by your piece of paper that costs $11, and then I gotta pay $1,000 to get it, burned.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, pimping. So from your perspective, though, you keep saying you're not marriage material. But how is that not marriage material? Are you saying you're not companionship material?
No,
What
I'm
is-
companionship, but I don't want to live together.
Okay.
I don't want any of that.
It's married people that ain't living together.
Well, no.
True, some of them not.
Yeah, some of them not, but I don't even want to go through that process. I want my space. I want, like we discussed in the podcast from last week, I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. Live by my own rules, not do any of that kind of stuff. But I can be in a committed relationship.
Oh, you want to be single?
Well, I guess so.
Well, to his defense, I will say,
But I'll be mentally and physically committed to you.
And available.
right.
Available, yeah, I'm there.
I think one thing that I know, being divorced and if I was to get married or even another serious relationship, birth order is so important to me. What I mean
Okay.
by that, that's for real. That's almost a requirement for me because like what you said, for me, when I got married, it was much more of an adjustment for me because I'm an only child. So I'm used to coming as I please.
Okay.
I'm not having to check in with nobody. It's just me, and not necessarily in a selfish way, but it's almost like, what you mean? I got to tell you what time I'm coming home. Like, I'm just used to getting up and going.
That is selfish. But carry on. Okay.
But when you're not used to that, but I will say, the thing that, and I guess you could say maybe this is in favor or not in favor. I think the thing that, so with my ex-wife, I think that did make us work to an extent is that she was the oldest. So there is certain things I think when you mix that together, because like for me, it for some, or the mentality that you hear a lot of people say for like a baby kid or a baby of the family. Mm-hmm. I don't mesh well with that stereotype. Not saying there are some people that are not in that stereotype, but all of the things that fit in that mold of a stereotype for a baby child, I would run from that. The whole, like, it's all about me and it's whiny, pay attention to me. I just can't, I'm not good with the constant need for validation. And
well, why do you say then her age, her being older, kind of worked? Is it because she could?
Well, she wasn't older than me.
Oh,
but I'm saying she was the oldest in her family.
Her family.
Yeah.
Okay. Of the kids. Okay.
So I think that I think people don't give that enough credit in terms of like how you grow up, your birth order.
You first child, middle child, last child. Well, there's 4 of us, so where do I fit? I'm number 2. They don't even have a category.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're right.
But
it plays into your personality type.
Yeah, it does.
A great deal. So that can determine whether, but you can train yourself out of that type.
Oh yeah, yeah. And when I was married, I had to. Because there are certain things as an only child, you do have to put on the back burner when you're married. But I will say, because I'm an only child, that also plays into the fact of me being so adamant about not wanting to get married again. Because now that I've had that taste of going back to how things originally were, I know where I left my cups. I know where everything is just me. So to have to train myself to go back into that.
Okay, but see, the both of y'all keep. You guys are conjoining this married and companionship thing. If you live with someone, you don't have to be married, and you might not know where your cups are.
Well, true.
So I don't.
But I don't. Now I will say, I'm not. I don't necessarily want to be married again, but I'm also not willing to. I'm not going to be doing no shacking either. Like if I
you're not physically shacking.
No,
but you might go over and stay tonight.
Of course.
That's shacking.
But this ain't gonna be your permanent residence.
Yeah, you're not moving in here.
Yeah,
not moving in.
Your mail is not coming here
ever.
No, ever. Me neither.
Ever.
No.
Happily, never.
No, we ain't shacking.
No, I don't think
if we had that understanding,
hold on,
maybe.
Maybe,
but I just don't see it happening.
I'm just gonna call the where's my mallet at? Because that's some BS right there. I just disagree with. Okay, I don't necessarily disagree with your opinion, but I don't think that's well thought through. Why would you want to maintain 2 households expense-wise? Why not just get a big enough house you could just be in separate areas?
No.
You get the basement.
I get your point.
Because that's silly to me. Because that expense we paying on the house, that's me traveling.
My piece is worth.
You know how I feel.
Right. So no,
you're
I
not
totally
about to
get
cut
that.
it and tell me you can't pay for this trip because you paying your mortgage and I'm paying mine. That's not. I want to quit my job.
Right.
My piece is worth you paying your rent or your mortgage. My piece is worth
some
that.
things are peace of mind
I won't compromise on that because I need, after, like I said in our second podcast or third podcast, After 3 days, I've had enough
right.
of you.
Go to your east side
No.
then.
No,
not East Side.
You can
Done.
have the garden house.
Done.
It
I
doesn't
need you
make
out.
sense from a financial
I
perspective.
need
Okay,
you
this is
out.
what we're gonna do. We're gonna have multiple homes.
No.
We'll have a cottage.
Oh.
No.
So you go
on
to the
the
cottage when you.
No.
You go to the
You
lake.
say no.
No.
It's the same thing.
No. Both our
No,
names
no.
are on it.
Your name could be on that one. I'm getting a nice one though that I want. That's over
Oh.
in another country.
Oh.
That's the one I
Whoa.
want. I just want the apartment.
As long
the
as you
loft
paying
apartment.
for it.
We.
No, we
So there's no joint accounts.
If
might
we're not-
as well get married then. No.
No, I mean I'm just asking.
No.
Yeah,
nothing.
I do feel like.
She talk about so you have a joint account with someone you're not married with?
No.
one?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm not. No, I'm saying what you. I do feel like
But we're
there.
companions.
There are, even though as much as I say I don't want to get married again,
Yeah.
there are some things that if I feel myself crossing that line, then I probably would be like, okay, well, let's just go ahead and get married.
No,
or,
no, don't do that.
I mean, not.
I mean,
not
don't do
to
it.
that
Look, don't
extent,
do it. I'm
Not
sorry.
like that, but
But you're right.
but yeah,
Bad
there's certain,
mistake.
There's certain lines when you start crossing, then it does get blurred.
But
But
why is it a cross line? Who defines that in order to have those things you have to have a piece of paper? Why can't we have that
Well,
and be a
but
companion?
when you start
Well, most
crossing
people don't
those
have that
lines,
mindset. But if you meet somebody that's I'm not knocking that. That's cool. But I'm just saying the likelihood of two people meeting on that same
Let me just
wavelength.
put it like this, and this is one thing I think we miss all the time. There's 7 billion people in the world. The problem is our circle is too small
Well, true.
because there's a lot of people.
True.
What happens is you're around the same people all the time who have the same mindset. So you're like, yeah, ain't nobody thinking like that. Oh yeah, it is.
True.
Get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah,
I'm
that's true.
but I'm
That's
gonna
true.
argue with you
Yeah, I
about
agree.
all these
I
extra
get that.
mortgages and stuff.
I get that, but
It's the extra
okay, and I know you saying it doesn't make any sense, blah 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 blah. But after 3 days, I need you to go home.
I'm going
three
to.
days, 4 days.
Well, you going to the cottage?
Oh,
I'm
but you
going to
go-
the house overseas.
Well, you go do
And
what
you
you want to
need to-
do.
Make sure that's paid for when
No,
I
no,
fly.
no, 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 no. We're not. I don't play husband and be boyfriend. No.
So okay.
We're-
So wait a minute. So the relationship or whatever it is a boyfriend, but we're committed.
We're committed, and you have your stuff. I have my stuff.
Okay.
And we're good.
Okay.
Separate accounts,
Okay.
separate houses.
So what do we do together? What do we give each other? Are you just talking about a sexual relationship?
No.
Well,
we
then
go
what's the 3
out, we
days?
hang out, we do everything. You don't need 7 days of my life.
I don't need 7 days. I just need you to at least pay for the airfare.
Airfare. No, I will pay for your airfare.
Thank you. That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
Carlos,
I mean, if we go on a trip.
Next question.
Yeah, if we go on a trip.
It's not we. I'm going.
Oh,
You.
well, if you go on a trip,
you
if you
said
go on
it's
a
not
trip
we.
and
Okay.
I gift you that's not going to be a responsibility or a
Right.
requirement of mine.
Because you want me to go.
Because I want you to go,
Yes.
and I believe you deserve it because you've been such an amazing woman in my life. I'm going to pay for you to go.
See? Okay. So technically, we can be happily ever after. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be never.
Yeah, in your own way. Or
Okay.
just whatever you define it as. Like for me, okay, so before I got married, I wasn't necessarily against joint accounts, but it was just one of those things like, I guess it's the thing you do when you get married. That's just how I thought of it. And now being out of it and looking back on the other side, we had, she had like a savings account and I had a savings or whatever, but we had access to it. But in some regards, the joint account was the stupidest thing because when it comes around to like birthdays and you gotta sneak and you
Take
go,
money out of the account that we both get notifications
you going to
on.
Walmart and it's like, why you got 4 $80 transactions at Walmart? Oh, well, I had to get cash back to get you. Oh, shit. It's just too much. So, because
So you can't buy stuff out of your personal account? I mean,
well,
that's
what I'm
just,
saying is like,
thinking.
there's no surprises. Like if you want
Okay.
to do something for the other person because they have access to the account. So you do start, and that's something I never thought about until I got married. But you do that. You have to get creative with how you spend the money because the other person is looking at the account. And for something like a birthday or Christmas, I did that. That was like a thing. You would go to get groceries, and in my household, I was the person that did most of the grocery shopping. So it was my advantage, I guess you could say, on that. But if I knew I was spending maybe $30 on groceries, but then if I knew if anniversary or something like that was coming up, then I might make 2 trips to the store to get $80 cash back so that it doesn't look off on the statement.
That's just too much.
And it's stupid. It's like, I
That's
hate
why
it.
I'm for all year round gifts. We don't sell, you know what I'm saying? Like the holidays.
We're just
feeding
because
back
gifts
into
or
the
whatever.
system.
Yeah.
No, get me because you thought of me.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
So I struggle with that.
But even that, they still know.
And that's okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, I might not want if it takes away the surprise factor. So like, let's say if, you really had a bad day at work and maybe when you get home, and I'm not saying you're necessarily into this, but like, let's say it's a purse or whatever the thing is, you have a bad day and maybe before your husband gets home, you check the account.
Because I'm frugal. I'm a check. Go ahead.
And so you check, and then you see $500 at Coach or wherever's been rung up. So you already know when he get.
But you don't know which one he got. I might see the
true,
airline ticket, but I don't know where I'm going.
But doesn't it ruin the surprise a little bit? Because it's like you don't really know.
No, what ruins the surprise if he never brings home a Coach.
Oh, right. It wasn't going to you.
Never after.
Happily never after.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
Okay, that's stupidity
That's
on his
true.
part. He should have used his personal account.
Yeah, but
Okay,
that's,
so do y'all believe in personal and you said
Yes,
no
I do.
No
joint,
joint.
period.
If
But
I
see,
was
I'm
to
not
get
going to be married, though.
But
Oh, you talking about companionship?
companionship.
That's a definite no.
in a perfect world, if I were to get married again, this is probably what I think I would do. We both get whatever percentage we agree on from our checks deposited.
We paying tithes to ourselves now.
Huh?
Go ahead, my bad.
Pretty much. So we had this joint account.
Yeah.
So whatever it doesn't necessarily have to be you put more, I put more, whatever. But whatever you make from your check, a certain percentage automatically goes into the house account.
Okay.
And the rest of that money, it goes into whatever separate account you have. Now, what you do with that separate, as long as it doesn't interfere with bills, and because this is the thing, I think a lot of the mistake that married people make. People hide money. So if you have a joint account, people can get slick, and you think 100% of the money is going into this joint account, but you don't know. You think it is, but you think a certain amount is going into it. But for somebody who's really smart with money like that, they can do it in a way where you thinking this whole time all the money is coming into this one account, and it's really not.
They got $80,000 sitting on the side. Hey, but back in the day, women were always taught put some money aside.
I didn't want to say that. But
Hey,
we're
and
taught.
right now, I'm about to divorce both of y'all because we have ended in happily never after land. Why are we talking about bank
she asked
account?
the question about what would I, what do I believe in?
This is
Yeah,
part
she
of
asked the
why it
question.
makes it
This is why
happily
we're not
never
married.
after.
That's a
right.
good, yeah.
But this is
Thanks, Carla, for the confirmation.
this is the issue, though. Why do we have to be conniving and sneaky? That makes it happily never after. But it could be. Why can't it be happy? Why can't it be? Why can't we
It's
actually
sad,
just
but
have
it's a
open
reality.
conversations about this stuff? Or you just say, no, I don't want. Okay, so you say you ain't put nothing in.
Yeah.
So we're basically like that's just confusing. I don't know. You're gonna have to write that down.
What is
I'll write it
confusing
down.
It doesn't
about
make
it?
any sense. Then you're not with somebody.
I am with you.
Then you're not.
7 days a week, I'm
Well,
with you.
I could see, because my thing is,
You're clingy.
No, it's not clingy.
You are clingy and needy.
I'm I'm not.
Yeah.
Today.
Not this moment.
I just want my trips paid for.
That's
You're
all
a
you want.
user.
No, I'm not a
I
user.
said I would pay for your trip.
You said sometimes if you want to gift it.
Yes.
I want an account that the money goes in. So
no,
therefore,
no. We ain't that serious.
because you can, and going back to the topic, because I believe you can be happily. I believe you can be happy.
Yeah.
With in marriage or companionship, whatever it is that you choose to define it as. I think you just have to set those boundaries, or not even. I don't even know if it's a boundaries. Just decide how you're both gonna manage that. But I don't think, like, what you're saying is we got two separate houses. We do everything separately. If we want to do something, we do it. That just sounds like we're sexing each other.
No.
That's like such a waste.
No. You can come stay at my house 3 days a week. I may come stay at your house 3
Is
days
it three in a
week.
row? Do I get to alternate the three? I mean, how does
Well,
this work?
Okay, so I'm just playing
It
devil's
comes
advocate.
when we feeling up to it. So if you come up and you said, "Hey, I'm gonna come by your place tonight," and I'm like, "Hey, I'm not up for it tonight."
Oh, damn.
And I'm be like, why?
Not up for it.
Can I ask why?
I'm
Are we past single?
I'm gonna say insecurity.
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because I want to know
insecurity.
why. It's a good movie on that we enjoy. Why can't we come? Why can't I come? and
If
watch
we
it?
enjoy it, we've already seen it.
Exactly.
So-
repeats are
So
awesome.
bask in the memories of what we
This
did.
is BS. This is Carlos. What were you gonna say? Because John is
No,
talking.
I was just gonna play devil's advocate. So I do think I can see both sides because I always
He never
seeing
agrees
multiple-
fully. He
But no,
to an extent.
no, I do. I can see both sides because I do think that you don't necessarily have to have joined money to be in a joined relationship. Because my thing is, you have some people that join money and they're stingy with money, even join. Like, we can have separate accounts, but I want to know that if I'm struggling, you got me. If I'm in an emergency, you got me, or you're going to try your best to get me. So,
I thought that only
That's
happens with the marriage license, though.
no. So, basically, Ali's saying if you stuck out,
I
and
just said it's what John said.
and
Because I got my own mortgage.
right.
No,
So
but
you
in
got
your
travel.
And I
There-
quit my
trips to
job
take.
because I thought we could move in together, and so therefore I gotta like
No,
hustle.
we
But-
didn't have that conversation.
Well, so one other thing.
It's evident we didn't have that conversation. So
I interpreted it that way.
What if you share the same passion though? Like let's say you have no joint account, no house that you live in together, but let's say this guy, he shares your passion for traveling. And let's say every single time you say, I want to go here, I want to go, he like, all right, babe, let's go.
I'm down. Let's go.
Then would that not be an ideal relationship, even though you don't share a house?
Yeah.
and
Oh,
money?
I don't need I'm not saying we have to have a joint account or that we have to live in the same house. I'm just saying that's a lot of stipulations and rules and things like that. It just logically, it
yeah.
does not make financial.
I see,
Warren
yeah,
Buffett
good
would
punch.
be like, that's stupid. Unless we own them and at least we're written in the wills. I mean, we can't be happily ever after and we walk away and property is sitting out there. Things are not taking. I mean, we got to be
Yeah,
smart.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
But
so
yeah. But see, that's where we have the difference, and that's where the conversation happens in the beginning. I'm mature enough to say we're never living together. We're not doing this. We're not
Never.
doing that, and give you the chance to say you're not the guy for me.
and that's I like that. So there's no keys. We ain't sharing keys.
Oh, you can have a key to my house, but if you violate that.
What does that mean? Just come over without?
Or if I call
Yeah,
you up and you be like, I was at your place and I saw this in your drawer.
Oh,
I'm changing the locks and you'll never ever get another
So
key.
I can't go in the drawers?
What you going in them drawers for?
Because my stuff is on the side.
Who?
I'm here for 3 days.
you got a 3-day corner.
Right.
But you in my
Do
drawer.
I have my own armoire or something? Is that established early?
Who does that? Who does that? You just coming over for a couple of days, pack a bag, and go home.
No, that's silly. I don't want to bring a bag every time. I should have stuff.
like some stuff.
Yeah, so like, let me example. I lived in Chicago, and I had two friends that lived in. I lived in the burbs, and I had two friends that lived in the city. Well, three, and I literally had 3 homes, and I had. This is how much ridiculous stuff I had. I had closets full. Each one gave me my own room, my own wing of their. I had really awesome friends. Thank you guys. And every time I had my own space. I had keys to, and 2 of them were guys, my 2 male friends, and 1 was a girlfriend. And so with her, she had a son, and so she would just, if I was, and I couldn't get back home because I was tired, she'd always let me just crash and stuff.
Cool.
The other places, I literally, it was like having my own place, and their girlfriends knew.
But I think
all of that.
It's a difference when you're staying at a friend's house and you're staying at someone you're in a relationship.
What's the difference?
with.
I had a whole.
You don't
room
have
with
the same
closet.
insecurities that you have in a relationship and a
True,
friendship.
true.
So you're not gonna be, if you get an inkling something's off with a friend, you're not gonna go through their drawers.
Okay, so
you're
wait.
not gonna do that.
Wait,
you're
wait,
not gonna
wait.
do that kind of
So
stuff.
what are we saying here? Are you still single?
No, we're in a relationship.
Because what
I'm
inkling
committed to
what
you, but
inkling
I
am
need
gonna
my
get?
space.
Why do I need why would I ever have an inkling?
Well, I think anybody.
Well, that
does
depends on
time to
you.
time in a relationship.
I mean, but why
I
would
think-
something be in the drawer? What kind of something are we talking about?
I don't know.
That
I'm
just
just
doesn't make
saying,
any sense.
if
Why
I
bring it
called
up?
you up and you said, "Hey, I was at your place," and
It's unannounced.
let's say, and it may not even be a drawer, and you said, "Hey, I noticed there was a new toothbrush in your bathroom,"
If it was pink, I'm gonna ask you whose toothbrush is it?
but
I
it
ain't
could be any
noticing
color
nothing.
toothbrush.
Whose toothbrush is it?
It could be any color
If it was
toothbrush,
pink,
and
maybe
you
he
say,
like pink.
He don't like pink.
"Hey,
We
I
already
noticed
talked about
there's a toothbrush in your house.
it. Yeah.
What's that all about? Or who toothbrush is that?" Or you try to play a game and say, "Hey, you bought
I
a
ain't
new
playing
toothbrush."
games. Whose toothbrush is it?
Right, I
And
want to
then-
know.
I'm gonna say the person who just got your key.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
It's gonna be your loss because you're not gonna be able to come to the cabin and stuff like that because that's
Oh.
in my name.
oh,
okay.
Because I invested my extra money rather than paying an extra mortgage.
I can see that. I do.
Really, John? Like that just doesn't make sense.
Well, don't I feel like don't abuse the privilege. I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's what I feel. Like to me, when you give keys and stuff like that, it is a privilege. And if you're not married, even if you've been together for a long time, and this is, and I automatically think like this, but I think a lot of people don't. But I wouldn't care if we together for like 10, 15
Yeah, 'cause
years.
I was gonna ask about the years. Does it make a difference?
Then I'm probably not going to show up unannounced unless it's maybe like for sex.
We
Yeah.
we
That's
said-
the
That's
only
what I'm saying.
time. That's the
Unless
only
you're gonna
time
be
you
in
can
the
pop up.
kitchen, butt ass naked,
Right.
in an
Ooh, look,
apron,
I popped
cooking.
up.
But if you
Right.
know that that's what I do all the time, why wouldn't you always show up?
Oh.
But that's what I say.
See, so the thing
If
is,
you're
you
not
guys
doing that-
you guys haven't experienced the woman then that makes you potentially. So, because there's no way 7 years in and we still gotta ask permission to come over.
Well, it ain't about you guys.
Ain't no
ask
crawling in the windows for excitement. I mean, what are we talking about? This is just so rudimentary.
Yes, maybe so,
Crawling in
but no, you got to prove yourself.
7 years later,
Yeah.
you still paying for the trips though, right?
That's all you want.
I'm a world traveler.
If
The
you
trips
deserve
paid
them,
for.
Oh.
Oh, ouch.
So what is deserve? How does that fit in?
Yeah.
that means if our relationship is going great, you don't have any insecurities.
Everybody has insecurities.
Well,
You have
you're
them.
not expressing your insecurities every day, every time I see you.
Okay, well, nobody does that.
Yeah, some people do
But
that.
those aren't the ones you're going to be,
You
sharing
never.
space with.
Yeah.
You're going to cut them off before year 7. So we already know. Okay, so if we make it to year 7,
Right.
If we make
You
it,
cool with the insecurities at that point.
but still, just probably by then I may have become a little bit lenient on that rule. I don't know.
because you haven't gotten there
I
yet.
haven't gotten there yet.
I think for me, I'm just a one of those people like I don't want to know. That's just me. So I'm kind of scary with privacy type things. So like, even if I feel like, let's say if you gave me the green light, hey, you can pop up on me anytime you want. I'm probably still gonna call and be like, "Hey, I'm on my way," so, because I don't want to be. And maybe that's a negative way of thinking, but it's like I don't want to pop up on something.
You want to get all we saying.
I don't want to. You know what I mean?
And
I don't
not
want to be
even-
caught off guard.
And not even pop up on something. What
And
if
not saying
she's
you're doing
not
nothing
home?
wrong. Right, yeah.
And
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
not the kind of person that, like, you have your own life and space, if you're not planning on doing anything, what are you doing? Just popping up and sitting
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
couch
you
waiting
just-
for some. I mean, so I understand that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But I've never been a snooper, and I've had people live with me, and I felt like somebody. The one person I lived with, like they purposely left things out for me, and I hated it. I thought it was the crappiest and most cowardly thing for them to do, rather than
So you
just
could
tell
look
me,
through it?
so that I could see it.
Yeah.
Really?
Like,
Wow, that's crazy.
leave their Facebook on my computer open.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff like that. Like,
Oh,
and I
wow.
never wanted to. Like, I'm
Yeah,
just.
see, I'm not like that.
I ain't got
either.
time for all of that.
Yeah.
But I understand, like,
Mm-hmm.
if we're living separate places, I mean, it doesn't matter how many years. If we literally are still living in separate places, it logically doesn't make sense. And I guess it depends on the relationship. But if I'm popping over and I'm just chilling on the couch, then we should be living together. You know what I'm saying? If it's like that, then we should be living together.
No.
But if it's not, but if it's not, then yeah, it makes sense to call
Yeah.
first, text, hey, I'm coming by or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and the funny thing with me, I mean, I've been the snooper. So this moment of transparency, I've said this 1,000 times before. I've been the snooper. I've been snooped on. So I know how both sides of it feel. And I know how it's easy to become the snooper. You know, when things, and most times it's all about you and how you're feeling about yourself, which is what causes you to snoop. You're not feeling 100% about yourself. You have these insecurities, and nothing may not even be going on with the other person, but you'll start snooping into their private stuff. And then the funny thing with that is like one of the most horrible places to be, because it's like you go and you find stuff. And then when you find something, and then you confront them about it, and then they lie to you and convince you that you're crazy
For looking.
because
You found it.
And then you stupid enough to stay there
Yeah.
after you have the evidence.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's like, why even go
Yeah.
through all of that stuff? That's why I tell people, if you're gonna snoop, you need to be at that place
Be
where you're
prepared.
ready to
You know,
walk.
and who
Yeah.
said that? And I don't watch the Braxton family thingy, whatever. But there was some recording. I think it was Tamar or one of them. They were like, "Don't say anything if you're not ready to walk
Yeah.
away."
True.
Yeah.
True.
Because
Yeah.
and first, you know, a lot of people are like, that's some BS. We gon'
Yeah, but it's
no,
true.
but like you brought it up. Now there's all this extra tension, and I understand wanting to get things off your shoulders and stuff like that. That's really, in all essence, why we have counselors, why we have mentors, and why we have friends is the vent. Because until you're ready, and it's something I used to say even with my job, because people used to always be like, you know, you don't ever really talk about whatever. I said, I don't cry wolf. When I'm ready to go, you'll know.
See, that's me too.
I don't
Yeah.
play those games.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I will endure a hell of a lot.
Before you get to that point.
And part of it is my mentality is I want to see if you, hey, you know, I'm giving it a chance, and I don't want to be the one to have to tell you, like, you know, with what you doing.
Yeah.
And once I'm there though, I'm typically a point of no return. I
Yeah,
have
that's
returned
me
one
too.
time.
Yeah.
I let something return one time, and I should have burned it. But you know what I'm saying? And so I mean, I can understand that perception of it, you know, and I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, in my opinion, to go down that path, to snoop, to not snoop, whatever the case may be. Like you said, if you're not going to,
Yeah.
even whether or not you confront it or not, if you're not going to take the steps.
Yeah.
Because what are you confronting? So if they tell you, yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And then you're still gonna stay.
And then the flip side too, I think with that is the danger of not finding anything, because then now you got to live with you snooped and you didn't find nothing.
But you believe it's something.
Yeah, so
But
now
yeah,
you
keep looking.
violated
But
their
yeah,
privacy.
you're gonna keep look. They go crazier at that point because
Yeah.
they believe something is wrong, And at that point, it's no cutoff for them. They don't know where to stop. They
That's-
keep going.
You gotta
That's
keep looking
happily
until
never
you
after.
validate.
Yeah, that's happily never
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the negative side of
Yeah.
it. But so like what creates that? Because John, you were saying, like whoever does that, that's their own insecurity. I don't agree with that.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think personally, people can. So let me paraphrase this properly. We all have insecurities. We all have ways that we were raised as children, things that happen in adulthood, situations that we've been through. So all those things are kind of in there.
Right.
But there are triggers, and someone can trigger something. Someone can do something that causes you to have an episode or causes you to feel insecure about something. They
So
don't
you're going
necessarily
Snoop.
create. They don't create your. They don't create your insecurity, but what they've done is they don't create the insecurity that's already in you or what happened in the past. But what they've done is they've opened the door because of their behavior.
Yeah, so they trigger you to get in your car, follow them, and sit in the
Hell
parking lot.
yes.
Parking lot.
You've been triggered.
Yeah, you've been
Hell
triggered.
yeah, I done called cheaters.
Yeah.
We got it on video.
Yeah, so that has nothing to do with you. They just triggered you to do that.
I didn't say it didn't
Because
have
if you got to start
anything.
doing all of that foolishness, drive your
Hide
ass on
behind
over
the
to
bush.
your mama house and move in with her.
Look, I didn't look, and that's why, but I'm not saying that there aren't things that have happened that, this is why this person does that, but you did something.
But if you feel that strongly,
It's not that easy, John.
it's easier than going snooping in their stuff.
It's not.
It
Snooping
is.
is easier at the moment
But
because at that
but
moment,
you feel worse.
I didn't say anything about how you feel.
You feel worse. So it's not easier. You're going to feel worse.
Easier than what? Walking away?
Yeah.
We always say that. That is the
What,
golden.
snooping is easier than walking away?
No,
What?
he said walking away is easier than snooping, right?
Yeah. I think once
Because
you
of
get
what
to-
you find. In the long run, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but that is a golden ticket answer.
But
oh
if
my God.
if you're snooping, you already know the answer.
I understand that.
You
but
already
I may
know the
not
answer.
be ready to move on though.
That you don't
Yeah.
need to snoop then.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but that still does not negate what triggered it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%.
Because if you wasn't acting crazy,
see, but you've
and
never
doing
been a
all
snooper.
kinds of-
You never
Yeah,
been a
see.
snooper. I've been a snooper.
but I will tell you this: once they left it open, I ain't have any choice but to look, and that pissed me off to the highest level of festivity because I was
Yeah.
like, I don't even want to see this.
Yeah, and then
But now it's
just
like
open.
right there, so I don't have any
in front
choice.
of me.
But now I got to read it. I'm scrolling.
You got
Now,
caught up.
and now I'm looking at
Now-
dates.
now- right.
Now I'm comparing
Like,
dates.
wait, this?
But I would never have done that had it not have been blasted in my face. And that person never took the ownership of saying, why didn't they just leave? Okay, I got your tongue now, huh, John?
No, I thought you were still talking. I still believe you should have got on up out of there. Because did you say after you went through the Facebook?
It was my house.
Oh, what? Did you put them out
That we severed ways.
that day when you snooped?
No, I left that because I needed to marinate on that. And it took me it was a couple weeks, but it was literally only a month. But
Oh, well, see, that's pretty good.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a pretty good
Yeah,
turnaround.
that's-
But I went back like a year later because I was
Why
like,
did you go back?
Oh, I wasn't fair. I wasn't.
yeah. You start questioning.
I started
Start
questioning.
yourself.
Yeah.
Because of other people.
Yeah.
Because you like this. You know how you do. You know how you do.
Insecurity.
And I was like,
Yeah, then
yeah,
you're
I'd
like,
be
yeah.
cutting people off quick. And I was like, yeah, but so yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a happily never after that I tried to make happy. But so can I go back to the happily? Now, I believe you can be. Regardless of what John's living arrangements are going to be later on in life, I honestly believe you can be happy. I believe that there is, everybody says that's Hallmark, that's a fairy tale. I think that is such a cop-out to say that
being happy is a fairy tale. I believe you're going to have problems. I believe that things are going to pop up and stuff like that. Even the living arrangements, you still got to get used to that. And there's always going to be something that happens. And if your response is, well, as soon as something negative happens, I gave your key to somebody else, then you know what? Stay single. Okay. but this is the thing. I think when you mature and you grow, and you're, like you were saying, you meet someone and you're both on the same page, and you're just living life, that's happily ever after. There are no rules.
Yeah.
So that whole, we live into, because you might find that person that's exactly what they want.
Yeah,
that
true.
is happily ever
Yeah.
after. That is
Yeah.
that fairy tale.
That's
and it
true.
don't have to look like, I think the problem is we trying to make it look like what the story, we got to be in this
Oh, yeah.
one
No,
setting.
I'm just trying to make it look like you here 3 days and you gone for it.
Oh,
But you still haven't told
look
me
like
yet if the 3 days are consecutive. Do I alternate it each
It's
week?
all about how we feel.
No, but you said it's about how you feel if you answer the door.
No, I said if she called and said, "Hey, I want to come over," and I say, "Not tonight," she just be okay
What
with
if
that.
she says she's gonna cook in the kitchen naked?
I don't want that tonight.
Oh, okay.
no.
And then when they say that, don't take that as rejection.
So let me ask you this.
It's not
I
rejection.
It
have
takes
to-
a strong person, though.
Wait a minute. I have to say this though. So it sounds like you're controlling everything. So we only get together then. It sounds like
Not
that. So
everything.
what about if I just say I want to come over because I want to have sex? Like I have some physical needs.
I'm saying not tonight.
No.
That's BS. So we can only do it then when you say yes and come.
No, there may
So
be
do
nights
you
you want to do it.
But then do you ever go over her house?
Yeah.
Oh, so she could tell you no to the dang-lang.
Yeah.
Okay. But you would never do that though.
Who?
You.
What?
You don't ever want to go over because you like your space.
That is true. That is true. Do you have white linens and pillow top mattresses? I come over every night because that's what I love. Because that's what I got.
I got them flat mattresses make you want to get up and go home afterwards.
Oh, okay. I won't be coming over that often. Dude.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. I think, John, you're a little far off. As I get deeper and deeper, I realize it's a control issue.
Okay.
You have
Okay.
control issues, and that's all right. That's why you live by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's quite all right.
But I'm honest about it. And I lay it up
But
front.
true, yeah.
That's
I lay it
true.
up front. So if you sign up for this,
Yeah.
that's what you have to take.
But see, most people think, I think with anything, with boundaries or whatever, they think, okay, I'm cool with that. And then once they get in the door, I'm going to change their mind. And
Or
yeah,
you
that's what
don't
they
even think I'm gonna change your mind. You just over time there is an assumption that there is it has to. You can't be that strict. But talk to me in 10 years.
Okay,
'cause ain't no
okay.
way.
So this is what I'm
There's
saying.
some
So there
leniency.
may be some times you can stay over
For 4 days.
7 days,
Whoa.
a whole week.
Whoa.
There may be some times, but I guarantee you, because I know me, my space is going to start calling my name. And when that happens, I don't care how happy the day before was.
Okay.
I'm going to need my space. And when I need my space, I want you to go home. And I want you to respect that and give me that, because that's what makes me happy.
So is it the wanting space meaning because we can have a house together and your space can be you send me somewhere. Trips. I'm just saying. And we're not
See,
paying
but you're
two
trying
mortgages.
to change my plan.
I'm not because you're
because you
sending
said
me.
we can live
Space,
together.
right. You being seen.
You said we can live together. I said no living
So
together.
what I was gonna ask is the space thing that you see someone else's stuff there? Is that part of taking your space?
Yes, I want my own.
But what if I got
place.
my own closet? You got multiple bedrooms, right?
Yeah, but
Your closet might be another room.
no. And
That they never go in.
you can move out of your house and start staying in a Comfort Inn suites or whatever, those other
Comfort Inn.
things, thinking that.
He ain't say extended stay.
Right, well, true. Right.
I mean,
They
because
don't even have carpet. You know.
I'm just saying, there may come the time that you stay over 7, 8, 10, 20
Well-
days, but eventually I'm going to want my space. And that's never, ever going to change.
And I understand that.
That's never, ever going to change.
I think one thing you said that was really important when you said the space is what makes you happy. And I think the thing that people don't, or they kind of take for granted in relationships is that you have to pay attention to what makes that other person happy. And sometimes that changes.
Yeah.
You know, maybe what used to make me happy 3 years ago doesn't make me happy now. And I think, just going to the space example, if you've been with somebody long enough, you're going to kind of get that feeling like, I'm pushing my day limit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on day 5. We had a good time, but I think I'm going to go home tonight.
He didn't turn the water on.
Right. Flicking the lights while I'm asleep.
You know.
Pour salt in my eyelid. No, I'm just playing.
And I think
What
what
is this
Carlos was
graininess?
saying earlier too about like where you fall in your family. Like I'm child number 6, and I'm the only boy. So,
Yeah, so you're like an only
I've
child,
never had
in a
to
way.
share.
Yeah,
I've
I'm the
always
only
had
girl.
my own
Yeah,
room.
you like, we all kind of like.
So
Yeah.
you the baby?
I'm the baby.
Oh, you spoiled.
No, I mean my family
But
would
you're
tell
not-
you that
yeah,
I'm not.
I don't think-
I don't
Yeah.
mean spoiled
Yeah.
like that. I mean, but you're spoiled. Like you. That's why you want your own space, because there's so many people. You literally. I understand.
Yeah, I've always had my own. You know, I've always had my own. The entire time I being an adult, or even when I was in school, I only had a roommate for one semester.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
They can only come in the room a couple times a week.
No, and actually, they stayed in there every day, but I never forget. And this is kind of like was
times a week.
confirmation for me. I never forget. I came home one day, and this guy's name was Ed. I'll never forget his name. And I came home because I went to Commerce, and I come home during the week for choir rehearsal at the church I was playing for at the time. And I would stay over at my mom's house and my parents' house that night, and then get up and drive back the next morning. And I came back to school and everything. I go on campus. This dude had my sweater on, so I'm like, oh
No.
shit. And like back then, y'all, this was no lie. And this is petty, but I used to love Little Debbie oatmeal cream
Okay.
pies or whatever. And you know how it is, like when you have one left, just one left. And you just know when you get back to the
You
room.
go, yeah. You
got
looking
one,
forward to
yeah.
that.
I got back to the room and it was gone.
Oh,
He didn't
no.
care. He had on all your clothes. He
Right,
used your
right.
toothbrush. Everything. That little Debbie snack was gone. Even though it was 99 cents for a box, and you could have bought a whole nother
Yeah, I
box.
could have bought
Yeah,
it.
but still.
I never had
principle of it.
that
Right.
end of roommates there. I never had a roommate ever.
And
since
you
then.
ruined it for everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Can't nobody
Everybody
stay.
do it.
We got to bring on food and refrigerator.
And see, that's the thing too. Like, so when I'm in a relationship, you come to my place, it's your place. As long as you're here, you do whatever you want to do.
Yours on loan.
But when that time comes, and then, like I said, it may not be 3 days, and I may just say, "Hey, hon, don't you want to go home today?"
Whoa.
And,
Don't you wanna go home?
Don't you have stuff you got to take care of? You know, you should know that's the sign to say, "Hey, yeah, it's time for me to go back to my place."
If I was in that type of, like, if I had that personality, I would have fun with it. And we would have those little sticks with the little words on it. It would be like, you can stay, you gotta go. And I wasn't walk around. You know what I mean? Like, we in that relationship, and I'd be like, oh, dang, hey, pack my bag then. You know? And you have fun with it, because
Well, yeah, that's true,
otherwise,
man.
if
Yeah.
you're gonna agree to that, you know.
Yeah, man.
And it would
Yeah,
always
that's
be a
fun.
fresh
That's true.
start for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can stay overnight, but when you go to work the next day, just don't come back to the
Right,
evening.
right. You know, as long as I have an airline ticket.
Hey, that's
Great.
it. That's the moral of the
And
story.
like to answer go back to your question, if like a person is equally or into the same types of things. So there's more to just traveling.
OMG.
What?
What?
This doesn't stop recording. But we good. We got it on video.
Okay. I mean, we having too much fun. It was like,
Yeah, we having too much
y'all
fun.
doing too much. Can I keep going?
Yeah, keep going. We'll just finish it up.
Okay. So when you were saying, like, so if I meet someone who likes travel, because right now that's like what I really enjoy doing, and I would love a travel companion, but that doesn't mean I want to travel, because everybody don't travel the same either. So some
you
people,
may not even want them.
right? Because they'll be like, yeah, you can go, but I'm gonna stay here, or I'm not
Going hiking.
Right. or we get to the bottom part of the mountain, and now you don't want to climb up, and I'm just like, okay, stuff like, or you complain, if you're a complainer. But I think what happens is you don't even have to. So going forward, kind of what we were talking about before is as we start to establish and really figure out who we are, we don't entertain long-term relationships that aren't compatible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if there is no reason in my life right now that I should date someone who doesn't have some sort of similar interests that I have. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense for me or us to do that. I'm not child rearing. I ain't trying to have no babies. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, you're just doing it because, oh my God, I want to have babies and you have good hair. I mean,
right.
That's a whole nother podcast. Because people do that. Yes. We're creating new breeds of, anyway. So yeah, that's a new thing and stuff like, so I'm not doing that. So my whole thing is my companionship, plight in life is different. What I'm looking for is different. I'm not just trying to fill a void, because my life and my happily ever after can happen anyway. Because if I'm doing what I enjoy doing, I would just love to have a companion. Maybe my companion is the one who don't go anywhere and sends me on trips. I mean, I don't know. Just pay for it. Pay for my excursions and
so you when I get back.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. So it is possible.
Yeah.
It is possible to be happy ever after and to live the quote unquote dream, I think.
Yeah. You just have to define it and not compromise. Because I think sometimes when you compromise, and then that's where the resentment comes in the long run. Because then you look up and it's like 5, 6, 7, 20 years later, and then you like, dang, well, I really gave up the things I like and the things.
Yeah. I think that's key. The other thing I think is we also have to consider the fact that every in my opinion, 2 to 3 years, but minimum 5 years, we change.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we change. What we are wanting, we may still have the same like long-term goal, but how we're achieving it is different.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And a lot of times in relationships, people, they hold you to who you were in the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like you're not allowed to change and to grow. And then it's like, oh, who is this person? Or then it becomes, who'd you pick that up from? Or you didn't used to like XYZ.
yeah.
So, and then I think sometimes that's how the whole insecurity thing can come into play, because that person feels like they know you like a book. And then if you do one thing that deviates from that, then it's, you learn that from somebody else, or somebody else got in your head, and that's why you're into that. Or
Yeah, I can see
and it could
that.
just be like you said, if we change every 2 to 3 years, why isn't there room for that?
Well, I guess
in a
the
relationship?
question is, and this is where the connection comes in, or where we're joined at the hip or whatever, is where what influenced that? Because everything
Sure.
is an influence.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
another
it's-
chick that influenced you, I got, hey,
Then what's going on?
what happened on day 3 when I went, I'm just saying, but I mean, and that's a natural response. We
Yeah.
can't sit and say that, okay, because you set the guidelines, I can't have a feeling.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
there
still
are
have
feelings.
thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, it's just how do we manage that? And if I say that I'm okay with it, how do we have that conversation, even down the road when it comes up, where it's not throw in your face, well, you said you was good, with this type of thing. everybody has those moments of insecurities or questions, and do we just, arbitrarily, so the same as is, I can't change later on in life, so the same as I can't now have a feeling about something later on, even though I agreed to it. You know what I'm saying? So there's got to be some compromise, I think, on both sides.
Yeah.
You have to let people grow.
Yeah.
And I think too, with the whole the insecurities piece, you have to be careful, I think, the way you display your insecurities, because that karma can come back on you. Because the way that you put it out there, you can't get mad at that person, but that's where people go wrong, because people put it out a certain way, and the excuse is, oh, I was caught up in my feelings, or blah, 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 whatever. But if they get caught up in their feelings, then it's like you expect the person to react either less than what you did or maybe equal to what you did. But if they go beyond that, then it's the beginning. But hey, maybe you caught them on a bad day, and now they on Snap.
You triggered me.
Right.
You triggered me.
So I think that's something that.
I done held it in for the last 5 times, so this is a culmination.
Oh, that's.
I'm just saying.
I'm guilty.
You know?
That's me. Yeah.
So, you know.
I'm a blower upper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like that, though, because we're
not good.
taught
It's not good.
not to
I'm trying not to
express,
be like-
especially
yeah.
guys. You're
Yeah,
taught
yeah.
not to express, or if you don't have an outlet, if you're never given an outlet, so your outlet may not, your expression may not come out as, this person at work said something, and of course, you don't want to necessarily blow up. I mean, maybe if you quit and go ahead and do it, but you got to go back tomorrow, so chill out. But you have to release that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
And
It's
then
like,
things compound, and I'm trying to get better. But
and that's why
I'm,
I was. Yeah, what were you saying?
No, I'm that. I'm better, I think, than I was, but because a lot of times, if I get upset about something, especially in a relationship setting, I try to always give the benefit of the doubt, and I'd be like, oh, well, maybe she did this because X, Y, Z.
Making excuses.
Yeah, and by the time I get really ticked off about it, it's like, I don't give a damn what your excuse was. And then I'm mad at you for what you did today, and then what you did on October 16th, and then what you did on April 5th. Oh, I'm remembering.
Okay, so women aren't the only ones that do that. Okay.
Dudes do it too, because I keep tabs. If I get mad enough, the stuff that I didn't say, it'll come out.
You got a marker on it.
Yeah.
A little slip
bad.
sheet or whatever.
But I'm better now. I'm growing. I'm not as quick to do that anymore. But
I mean,
in the
like,
past, I did.
if you don't have a way to release that, whether it's talking to friends to kind of, because sometimes it is an issue.
Yeah.
And if you don't talk it out, and then it's a matter of, now how do I go and approach this person?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's not just me. I didn't just create this on how I reacted. Yeah, it did trigger something, but people still do things wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. So it's like going and telling a person who was molested as a kid that they can't have a sexual trigger, that they can't have abandonment triggers because now they're older. Give me a break. That's a load of crap. No, there is someone who's triggering you. Now you figure out how to address it for yourself, and then you also figure out how to address them if that is somebody that you have to deal with on a regular basis. And so we have to find ways to deal with these things. We always talk about communication. The only communication we're talking about is talking about what we're talking about. That's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
We're not actually trying to solve for anything or even address. I think my biggest issue with, why it's so hard for us to believe we can be happily ever after is we actually don't make a true, honest effort to know a person.
Yeah.
And that means know them. Really find out. One of the easiest ways is really spend some time with their parents. You learn a whole bunch about a person from their parents or their siblings and stuff, like how they interact. And it could be negative. I don't care if someone has risen to the occasion. If their relationship with their parents or situation, something happened with their parents, they're still holding that. Now, they may have learned how to manage it, but there's still a
But they're
trigger.
still yeah.
You never get rid of a trigger. You learn how to manage triggers.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And that's why I think why we struggle with the concept of happily ever after is because we don't actually take the time to get to know people.
Wow.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Final words.
Wow. Yeah, that was good. I mean, I would just say you just have to find out what works for you, and I think everybody has standards or things that are non-negotiable. And I always used to say this before I got married. I say it now. I still believe it. Everybody is crazy to some extent. You just got to figure out what kind of crazy you want to put up with.
Oh, that's a good one.
And you got to know. And the sad part is sometimes you don't know what threshold of crazy you can deal with until you're knee deep in it, and then you realize, oh dang, okay, this is one of them I can't do. But once you know, you should at least be fair enough to the other person to not try to stomach it and ignore it. And I mean, just be upfront and say, hey, this is something I can't deal with.
I'm working on that.
Well, me too. I mean, I think everybody is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just say, if someone speak their truth, don't doubt them. If their actions speak their truth, don't doubt yourself. So that's my word.
Oh, yeah. If
Wow.
someone speaks their truth, don't doubt them. If someone's actions speak their truth, don't doubt yourself. Oh, that's
Wow.
hot.
I know. I just came up with that. I was just playing. I mean, I did just come up with it, but
That is
I'm not
good.
like,
Though. That is good. Yeah.
because we doubt ourselves.
In a heartbeat.
And we doubt them when they tell us what they want.
No, you don't mean that. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Because I done done
Yeah.
Somebody's like, I'm a liar. And I was like,
No. And then they start lying. It's
You
like,
wouldn't just tell me that. You wouldn't tell the
Yeah.
truth about that if you a liar. You would lie and say you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's say that. So I'm
Yeah.
going to use reverse psychology. Dun-dun. That was good. Okay.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Well, all right, y'all. That's a wrap. Finally,
That's
the
a
cigars. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Yes. And hair grease.
And thanks, Ali, for joining us.